told me about how after the fire, after April 19th, you were given transcripts of the audio that was picked up by the surveillance devices that were in the building. These are the so-called bug tapes. And so you were listening to these audio tapes from the surveillance devices and checking and looking over the transcripts that had been made of that audio. So what were you looking for, and what were you checking for, and why were they asking you to do this? And also, what did you learn from listening to the audio and looking over the transcripts of the tapes?
Since I had already pled, I had a plea agreement with the government. This was after the fire. I was still in jail, but my attorney asked if I would be willing to help the government. I am their star witness now. And if I would help review the transcriptions of the audio tapes. And they didn't have a goal in mind other than to tell me, look, if we've already transcribed it, but if we've made a mistake, we'd like you to correct that. Or if there's an individual that you recognize the voice and we have unknown speaker, then if you could give us that person's name. So I was really just tasked with cleaning up the transcriptions a little bit for the government's use. I did that, and it became really hard because I'd already heard the lies that came out during the FBI press briefings that they were spinning everywhere. So with all of that frustration in the back of my mind, I would read something on the transcribed paper, the document, as I'm listening to it. It's really hard to listen to something at the same time you're reading it on the paper and not hear what you're reading. It makes sense, it looks like the same word, so sure, that's what it says. But I had a hard time with that because the paper, it was to me just a little bit more of those, we're spinning some lies here, so we're spinning them in this transcribed document. So I had to put the paper aside, listen to the tape without the paper, come back to the paper, and then go correct the paper, because I found that what I was actually hearing on the tapes didn't match. It could have been something stupid, non-important, but it didn't match. So even when you take the little things and they don't match, when you get to the big things where the government said, oh, they said on this bug tape, let's light the fire. When you get to the big things, it matters even more. But you can't prove that unless you can prove that they were wrong throughout the whole document. And in a lot of what I read and listened to, there was stuff that matched, but there was stuff that didn't match. And it was, I don't know. I don't want to give a percent of what matched versus what didn't match. I don't remember. But there was a lot. There was a lot that didn't match. And I don't remember how much I went through, how many of these tapes I listened to. I know that it was a lot. I know that I was able to put names to voices that they didn't already have. And I wrote different words down because I didn't hear what they had written down on their paper. I don't think that they kept what I wrote down. I think that all the work that I did just got thrown away. I don't even think they read it. I think that they just wanted me to feel like I was helping out. They gave me a job to do.
In the two trials, the criminal trial and the civil trial, they argued that contained audio of people talking about setting a fire. Did you hear that on any of the tapes?
I heard people talking in muffled gas masks. So it's really hard to figure out what they're saying. Light is one word that is very similar to a lot of other words. So I can't say yes or no that that's what I heard on the tape, because too many people have already written it down and told me that's what was said on the tape. In my mind, it could have been something different, but I can't recall at this point whether what I heard was so far different and I wrote it down and it was just so far different. I just can't recall all of that. I just know that there was a lot of muffled sounds, and especially the last day. Those tapes from the last day were extremely hard to hear. There was a lot of sounds in the background and really hard to make out words. I think the only person that I even remember listening to that final day that I could sort of kind of clearly hear was Pablo Cohen. And that's I don't remember.
Yeah.
I just know that I was already extremely angry because of the lies, and these transcriptions were just more of the lies.
I understand. Just one more little question. Do you remember what Pablo Cohen might have been saying?
I don't.